Naquan Harrell,
yes, sir.
23, is a peer educator and community follow-up worker at the AIDS Service Center, New York City, and is living with HIV himself. What brought you to the AIDS Service Center in the first place?
Well, I have two family members that are positive. My mother is also infected. She's another long-term survivor. I have a brother who was born with the virus. It's always been around me. When I became positive, my mom felt like she didn't have any other avenues to really speak to me or understand what I was actually going through from a homosexual man's perspective, because I'm homosexual. So she felt like coming to an agency like this and meeting peers that might share some similar experiences would help me with my self-esteem, my confidence, and dealing with some of the hurdles that come with being positive. So that's how I came. My mom brought me here.
So we're like 30 years into the epidemic. You're not too long out of high school. What happened? Did you not know enough about HIV? Why don't you tell us a little bit of the story of how this came about?
Well, I knew a lot. My mother actually made sure that I had the information. One of the things I want to say is with youth, I'm guilty of it. You can know as much information as you know, but if you have this complex as a young person feeling like you're invincible, like nothing can happen to you. And I felt like I wasn't gonna go through this because I knew the information, but I didn't take heed to the information that I knew. So I put myself in situations that weren't the best situations to be in. I trusted someone, was with him for 6 months, trusted him, I did ask him his status. He told me he was negative. I found out later that he knew his status 3 years before he met me. So he lied to me.
How did you first react when you found out that you had HIV?
I remember the day like it was yesterday. I got tested because I was in a new relationship, and I decided that the best way to go into this relationship is to find out my status so that there would be no lies there. So I got tested when I was 19, and my first feeling, I remember, I was numb. I didn't feel anything. I didn't know what to feel, how to feel. I just felt like there was nothing. Like she told me the lady said, you are preliminary positive. And I said, okay. And she was like, that's it? I said, yeah, that's it. I went and called my cousin, I cried. So my first feelings were first a feeling of numbness, and then a feeling of shame and guilt.
But now you're a peer educator and you're willing to share your story as you just did. Now, because the new drugs keep people with HIV relatively healthy, how do you break through that to get young people especially to take precautions and practice safer sex?
We just did this workshop intervention in Brownsville, Brooklyn, which is a high concentration of the virus. There's a lot of people there that are getting infected. And we did one workshop there called Tapping Into Your Inner Diva and Swag. Diva for girls, swag for guys.
What does that mean, swag?
Swag stands for sexy with a goal. So our goal is to inspire and lift one another. We do these workshops, we go to different communities, and we let them know the importance of it. We do use some scare tactics, I'm not gonna lie. We do tell them, you know, what it is, the real deal, because a lot of times their parents don't want to talk to them about these things. They feel uncomfortable with it. But if you have a peer talking to you about it, somebody that's your age, somebody that can speak to you in your language, 9 times out of 10, that's going to have more of an impact on you.
What do you mean by a scare tactic?
Scare tactic, for instance, one guy, I'll never forget it, he might have been no more than 14 years old, and he was like, I don't have sex. I let girls give me oral sex. I'm like, okay. I said, so you think that you can't get anything from oral sex? He's like, nah, I'm good. I said, well, do you know that there's other things out there besides HIV, chlamydia, syphilis, gonorrhea? If someone has HIV, that even opens you up even more to get HIV. You're more likely to get infected because you have syphilis or gonorrhea now, because now your body's fighting off something else and it can't give you the resistance that you need to fight off the possible infection that's coming to you. So saying things like that, they're like, wow, they didn't think like that. You know what I'm saying? Things like that sometimes scare them.
Are young people getting the AIDS education lessons that they're supposed to get in the city schools, and are they adequate?
No way. I don't think they're adequate. We know you're teenagers. We know this is the age when your hormones are raging. So why not tell you some information that can help you, as opposed to just giving you a standard use condoms? Well, I don't want to use one. I love my girlfriend. Same thing as what I went through. I love my boyfriend. I'm 17. He loves me. They don't understand the concept of love. It's puppy love. So they're just doing what they want to do. And there's nothing that you can say or not say to them to make them stop having sex. If a child or a teenager chooses to have sex, eventually they're going to do it. If that's what they want to do, they're going to find a way to do it.
So you teach them how to be safer?
Just how to be safer. My concern is not whether you're having sex, because it's not my business. My concern is making sure that you're safe in what you're doing.
And the thing that makes most people be safe is what?
Well, the education. If you know how to use a condom, even simple tactics as harm reduction. Don't brush your teeth before you're going, or 15 minutes before or after you have sex, because now you're opening up your mucous membranes. Don't wash your mouth out with Listerine. We even make it funny for them. A penis or a vagina can't smell your breath anyway, right? So why does it matter whether you brush your teeth?
Tell us about somebody that you've been able to help and the kinds of things they've been able to go on to.
Okay, 2 instances. One, I have a client, this young guy, he's about 19 years old. He was born with the virus. He also has cerebral palsy. Very, very, very introverted. He really was very judgmental. He was born in a very rough neighborhood, gang member. From speaking to him and constantly talking to him and standing up on him, he felt like that was not a direction he needed to take, and he decided to go back to school and get his GED. Another instance I'll talk about, we did our Tap into Inner Diva and Swag event, and a couple of the kids came up to me afterwards, because what I did was share my story again there. And a couple of kids came up to me afterwards, and they were like, wow, I never even knew. You look so thick. You don't look like anything's wrong with you. I'm like, yeah. So when you look at me and you see that nothing's wrong with me, why don't you think about the people that you're out there with and how they may look? It doesn't have a look. So, and they did commit to trying to have safer sex practices.
You're doing fantastic work now, and unfortunately there is an AIDS epidemic that is still going on, and perhaps the statistics are even rising now. What do you see for the future of the AIDS epidemic and for your future as well?
Well, what I see in the future, this is probably wishful thinking, but a cure, possibly. Or if there's not a cure, a vaccine would be perfect. I know they said they're working on it. Even if there isn't a cure, a vaccine would be perfect, because we would never have to worry about the idea of people, even getting exposed to the virus. However, my thing is if a vaccine does come out, now you have to worry about the challenges of, well, now people are going to go back to complacency. Well, I don't have to use a condom because I got the vaccine. Well, there are other things out there that are worse, more worse than HIV. As far as my future, I actually am in school now for human services. And my goal is to open up a shelter for young gay youth to get better with their lives and bring them to somewhere in their lives, because there's a lot of runaway youth that go into sex work and all these things, and that's another demographic that's not even really looked upon. I hope to keep doing what I'm doing and inspire not only the gay community but also just young people in general to keep practicing safer sex. That's my goal.